real chief, they'd call me. I'd do a little part. And that's where law and order came from after I left the Senate. I kind of went back and did a show like that. But when Condoleezza Rice needed someone to advise her and her colleagues on matters of international security, she called on me. I headed up an advisory board, advised the State Department. It had very distinguished Americans on it, former cabinet secretaries, secretaries of defense, former directors of the CIA, former senators, and people of that nature. We did that. When the President of the United States needed someone to help a conservative judge get on the United States Supreme Court, he called me. And I was glad to help. Now, Chief Justice John Roberts, who I think will go down as one of the best Chief Justices we've ever had. So that's my background. That's where I've been. And it causes me to ask folks that are going to these caucuses on January the 3rd, before they cast their vote, to answer one question for themselves. When our worst enemy is sitting down at the negotiating table, thinking about what he can get away with, or what he might can do to the United States of America, or what he could pull, who do we want representing us on the other side of the table, looking back across the table at?
You, sir.
Yes. Well, I'm available. I don't say that out of any sense of somebody that's got all the answers. Everybody running for president, I feel like, is a good man and on our side and have certain things to bring to the table. But it's a fact that I've spent a good portion of my professional career dealing with what I consider to be the most important issues facing our country. And it just comes down to that. And they say a lot of things about me that are not totally complimentary, but nobody's ever accused me of misusing my public office or changing my position just to get elected to something, or anything else real bad as far as I know, and I'm proud of that. So, as I said earlier, what you see is what you get, and that's what you get with me. And I know who I am, and I know what I believe. And one of the things I believe most strongly is that America's better days are ahead of it if we do what we should do. And we do what we should do as a party and step up to the challenges of leadership in a tough time. It's not just a tough time in the world, it's potentially a tough time here and now. We don't know what is around the corner, economically or otherwise. It's going to take a steady hand on the plow. But I believe the American people are waiting for us to step up again.
Amen.
I had that feeling in 1994. I'd never run for office before. I decided I didn't want to be a professional politician. When I left Watergate, when I was a young man, I was 30 years old when I went up there. And we went through that together. I came back, I said, I ain't ever going back to Washington. Of course, I wound up in the Senate. When I left the Senate, I said the same thing again. But it's time that we stepped up, because I do feel the same way as in '94, and that is when we put our principles out there, and what we stand for, and what we believe in, it gets a good reception from the American people. And I don't think the American people have changed their minds about these basic principles, and they need to know that we haven't changed our minds either. And that's the opportunity that we have. Dangerous times, but potentially the greatest times. Wouldn't it be great together to be able to say that we have once again handed this country off to our kids and to our grandkids a little better shape than when we found it? Isn't that really wonderful? That's what this is all about, my friend. That's what this is all about. And I don't say this with any sense of great pride or ego either. But I've never lost an election, and I don't intend to start now, and I don't. So I need your help. Together we can make a